Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk about hypertrophy and strength. Now to make this concept very simple, let me explain this with an example. Now consider a man who enters the gym and he has a very good looking body, like bulky looking body with good biceps, good forearms and good pecs, a broad shoulder, nice looking good muscles of thighs and calves. So in simple words, this man has a very good looking, bulky looking body, okay, big muscles. Now everybody admires his body whenever he works out at the gym, because he has a good big muscles, strong looking body. Now this man and his friend, they happen to go for a drive, okay, and unfortunately this car stops. Now as expected, since this man has a very big body with very big muscles, so he's expected to give a helping hand to push this car and get it into motion, help to start the car. So since this man is expected to give a helping hand, he tries to push the car, tries very hard and puts in all his effort and strength in pushing that car, okay, because his friend is kind of looks a little weak, so this man is expected to push this car single-handed. Now unfortunately this man cannot do it. He fails in doing this, and the reason is for the simple reason that this man has a hypertrophied body. Now any layperson who looks at this man definitely finds him very appealing and admires his body, because he looks so good with all that big biceps and that forearms, and he looks so strong. I mean, anybody would expect this man that he can push this car, help during crisis, small little help, basic functionality, basic activity, that this car should be set into motion. So that's a simple little example of our daily life where we require our body to be put to use. Now unfortunately this man cannot do this, a simple task, and that's because he has a hypertrophied body but he lacks strength. And that's the reason I thought of talking and discussing on this topic of hypertrophy and strength, because many people who go to the gym and who focus on workouts and desiring to have a good looking body and be fit, they're mistaken and they're misled, okay. So we need to get an understanding of what is fitness, what is muscular strength, what is hypertrophy, okay. And that's the reason I thought of explaining this concept. So this man has a hypertrophied body, bigger biceps and that forearms, and looking strong, and so like he's full of power, but he lacks strength. And that's because hypertrophy and strength are two different concepts of fitness. They're not the same. They are independent of each other. Now another man, who has small muscles, okay, in comparison to that man that I spoke about just now, if you ask him to push this car single-handed, he's able to do that. He's able to complete this task, this very simple task. But if you look at this man, he doesn't have a big muscle size, but his body is strong. And that's because he has strength. But he lacks hypertrophy, small muscles, but a lot of power and has a lot of strength in accomplishing this task. So a person may look, having all those good definition of muscles and big looking muscles. Now in this example I referred to a man. It can be a woman also, but just in generalized way I spoke about this man who has big muscles. It can also apply to a female. So hypertrophy is nothing but when we talk about the size of the muscle. It's muscle size hypertrophy. And strength is something else. Strength is about having the ability of the muscle to generate force. Size of the muscle doesn't necessarily mean that the person has strength, that he is able to generate a lot of force and push this. They're two independent concepts of fitness. So a person can have hypertrophy and strength. Okay, so that's the best thing that one can work on in the gym. A person can have only hypertrophy. So this is one aspect. This is another. So a person can have big looking body but lacks functionality, poor strength. And then a person can have only strength. So this is very important to understand. And this is important because your workouts are supposed to be designed properly by your fitness trainer. Working for hypertrophy in the gym and working for strength is completely different. That's how your workout program has to be designed. Yes, at times it can be both. You can work on hypertrophy, increasing the size of the muscle, and also work on the strength. So that's best explained by a personal trainer. Now, strength is where you generate force by the muscle. Okay. And hypertrophy is size of the muscle. So I hope by this we get a clear understanding that the workouts are completely different. For hypertrophy, it will be more focused on the volume of the workout, that is the number of sets into the number of repetitions. And when you work on your strength, and that is 85% of 1 rep max. So when you lift heavy weights, you go for your maximum force that your muscle can generate. You keep increasing the poundage, you keep on progressing, you go for heavier weights, and that is how your muscle is challenged to generate force, and that's where you work on your strength. But hypertrophy is just focusing on the volume, increasing the number of repetitions, increasing the number of sets. So that's where it's not necessary that you go for heavier poundage. So it can be less, okay? But it's just about focusing on the volume. And here is where you focus on your strength. Now when we talk about hypertrophy, we talk about person is looking good, aesthetics, wearing a tight t-shirt and entering the gym. Everybody is looking at his body with, those nice good pecs and broad shoulders. But this man is unable to perform daily activities like a normal task. It may be pushing a car, for that matter, during crisis. It can be helping at home. Okay, a bed is there and he is called, okay, by somebody that just help in pushing this bed in the corner of the bedroom. Now this man is unable to do this. He puts in all his effort with those big muscles, but a simple task, he's not able to do that. If he's asked by somebody to lift a heavy suitcase, okay, and place it on top, okay, in the storage area, he's not able to do that. But the man looks good with all those muscles, but he lacks functionality. So that's the reason big muscles doesn't necessarily mean the person is strong. Strength and functionality go hand in hand. Person is working in the gym, focusing on his strength. That's how he works on his functionality. And that's what is important. Your body needs to be useful enough for yourself and for the people around you. Basic task and activities given to you, you're supposed to be able to accomplish that, okay? So that is functionality. And hypertrophy, big muscles, is good looking body, aesthetics. So I, as a personal trainer, for myself and for my clients and even for my family and near and dear ones, I always talk about and emphasize on strength. Because when you emphasize on strength, your body, you make use of it to its maximum. We talk about functionality and strength. Aesthetics, yes, necessary at times. But when you focus on strength, the aesthetics will be the byproduct of it. You don't need to focus on hypertrophy and aesthetics. See, remove this concept, this mindset from your mind that you have to go to the gym and work out to make those big muscles and to look good. Do not focus on this. This will be the byproduct. Focus on this. Focus on strength and improving your functionality. That will follow up.